Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, developer advocate at Dremio, and in this video what I want to do is just kind of show you how to use Dremio with Hex collaborative notebooks. Now there are essentially two ways you can connect your data that's in Dremio, and again you can use Dremio to connect your data across many sources and then being able to feed that data into tools like Hex. There's two ways you can connect. You can use a JDBC connection by clicking over here on data sources, and then if you click here where it says view more connection options, you'll see that there's a Dremio connection, and you would just put in all your information here. But you know what's even faster? Using an Apache Arrow flight connection, which actually can be pretty easy. All it requires you to do is literally you can just copy over this class into your code, okay? Or you can actually even, there's a library that already exists. Oops, called nope, that's not what I meant to do. There's a library that already exists called Dremio Simple Query that essentially is this code. Okay, so if you wanted to install that, you would just do a pip install Dremio Simple Query, and you would get this library, and you just have to import it. Okay, you can look up the documentation on Piple, but I'll also put in the video description, I'll put a link to where you can find this code, and you can copy it into your notebook, which gives you functions, so that way when you make a query to Dremio, you can have it returned either as an Arrow flight stream reader, a DuckDB relation, a Polars data frame, or a Pandas data frame, whichever you prefer. Now, that's pretty convenient in Hex because all these libraries are pretty much already available in your environment. So in that case, you don't have to pip install anything, it's just there. But essentially, once you have this class, connecting to Dremio is just a matter of this. Here I'm grabbing the location. Okay, so there's the URL for Dremio Cloud, okay, that you would use for establishing an Arrow flight connection. In my environment, which I would click right over here to set up my environmental variables. There, I'm going to go grab my pat token that I would generate back on Dremio. And then this creates a connection. That's it. Okay, so literally that would be it, and it works. And the cool thing about this is that it works pretty much in any environment where you can run Python code, assuming you have the PyArrow library available. So then here, I just run a query against my Dremio account, save it into a Pandas data frame. Okay, so again, basically the first cell, I'm setting up that Dremio connection class. The second cell, I make the connection, and I make a query. And the cool thing is, again, when you're using Dremio, not only do you have access to all your data, but using the Dremio data lakehouse management features and the Dremio internal catalogs, which are Nessie based, you also have branching. So you can see here, I'm calling this data at a particular branch, and I can just change that up and be able to call data from different branches. So you also get these Git-like semantics from using Dremio in your notebooks that you can use with your data, which is pretty cool. Okay, but I send that query, so you can see I got the data back. But the cool thing is, since this cell saved it as a data frame, I can create a visualization cell here in Hex, and then I can just select that data frame, and I can just create a visualization like so. And I can just kind of change the different fields and create different types of visualizations right there in a drag and drop kind of way, making it pretty easy to, again, just go grab my data and then feed it into a visualization and work with it here in a Hex notebook. So again, you have two options. You can connect using the JDBC connection, refer to the Dremio documentation for the details as far as like the JDBC connection string and things like that, or you can use Apache Arrow, which again you'll see here. You can just use this class. I'll send you a link to where I have this class pretty much written, where you can just plop it right into your code and then use what you need pretty easily. But you see, all this does is I just literally just send over my query, I get my data frame, and I'm off to the races, making life pretty easy. So with that, I'll let you head off to the races and start getting started. And again, you can even use this class. Basically, the techniques I use here can be used in pretty much any notebook environment. But here you can see an example of how you would use that in the Hex notebook environment, which is pretty powerful. Again, it gives you access to all your data that can be unified on the Dremio platform here in your notebook, where you can then collaborate with others and kind of go from there. So I'll see y'all later.